Modern governments spend a lot of money. One of the problems with that is that in many cases, governments don't make much money. In our case, our government for quite some time controlled a lot of our country's assets and resources, and because of that, they made quite a bit of money and spent a lot of it horribly. But there was just so much of it that it was still able to go around and benefit quite a few citizens. But as these companies and assets become less profitable and start to lose value, if the government wants to continue spending the way they always did, then they would have to find other ways to make money, and that generally means taxes. When the government would have given one of their friendly contractors a contract to pave a road 5 inches thick, and they only paved it 2 inches thick, and within 6 months it's all cracked up and ready for a new contract, when it was oil and gas money being spent, it could have just felt annoying. But if it's taxes, your taxes being spent, you start to notice it's actually theft. The latest tax being worked on is the property tax, and in order to tax you on that, the government has to know the annual rental value of your property. That's not only if you are renting it out, that's if you were to rent it out, what the potential value of it would be on the open market. So the average home for a middle-income millennial parent generation, the generation who are the parents of the millennials, a bedroom for each of their 3 children and a master bedroom, so that's a 4-bedroom home, and they just finished that credit union loan renovation in preparation for the children finally leaving and maybe some grandchildren being entertained. And if you look at the average rental price for a 4-bedroom renovated home in Trinidad and Tobago, that might run you anywhere near $10,000. And worse yet, if they added a self-contained studio apartment downstairs in the back for granny, easy like that, your parents may be in possession of a $12,000 monthly rental property, and with a 3% tax on that, that's going to come up to $324 per month. That might be more than the average bill for the average house. And I could understand an argument for the taxes. The real estate market in Trinidad and Tobago is ridiculous, and it could be argued that part of the reason is because property owners have no incentive to have to sell their property. But maybe if there's a tax on the amount of property you have, it could add some incentive to get the real estate market in Trinidad and Tobago a little more reasonable for the average buyer. And okay, I can understand that. But that's a possible knock-on consequence of this action. The actual real consequence of this action is taking $400 from my parents' generation and putting it in the hands of people who won't even tell us whether they are thieves or not. Because the intention of that declaration from the Integrity Commission to tell us how you make your money, how do you have your assets, the intention of that is to let us know that you aren't stealing our money. So if you do not make that declaration, the assumption I could make is that you are a bandit, or maybe you forgot and you didn't know how to do it. And in that case, you are incompetent. If you're a public official, chances are a large part of your job is just signing things up and knowing when and where to send them in. Bureaucrats do bureaucracy. So if you didn't know what to do, you are incompetent at your job. To me, the question isn't whether I'm okay with spending more for the betterment of my country. The question is whether I think my parents would spend $400 better than a group of thieves or incompetents. And personally, I know my answer.